Across Canada, gardeners, farmers, and seed savers are coming together right now to celebrate local seeds, biodiversity, and food grown in community. But something new is also happening in Canada. For the first time, a limited amount of genetically engineered or genetically modified garden seeds are being introduced and sold directly to home gardeners and small growers in Canada. That means genetically modified organisms, also called GMOs, are no longer just an issue for large-scale farms or grocery stores. They could be entering our gardens and community seed supply. We are the Canadian Biotechnology Action Network, or CBAN. CBAN brings together 14 groups to research, monitor, and raise awareness about issues relating to genetic engineering in food and farming. CBAN members include farmer associations, environmental groups, social justice organizations, and regional coalitions of grassroots groups. CBAN is a project of Makeway Charitable Society. The introduction of genetically modified or GM garden seeds is a threat to seed and food sovereignty in Canada. Biotechnology companies are targeting home gardeners and small-scale growers with genetically engineered fruit and vegetable seeds for the very first time. This is a big pivot. Until now, most GMOs in our food system have been processed food ingredients from GM corn, canola, and soy. Until now, the only genetically modified vegetable grown in Canada has been GM sweet corn, which has only had a marginal presence in some grocery stores. We know that seeds don't stay in one place. They are saved, shared, swapped, and cross-pollinated. So when GM seeds enter our gardens, they can spread far beyond a single backyard or farm. What happens in our gardens can impact the entire seed system and environment. The first GM garden seed being marketed to gardeners in Canada is a GM purple tomato. This tomato was engineered by inserting genes from snapdragon flowers, causing its skin and flesh to turn a purple color by increasing the production of anthocyanin, a flavonoid that gives blueberries, eggplants, and many varieties of non-GMO purple tomatoes their vivid colors. This GM tomato has been approved by the Government of Canada for growing and eating, and seeds are already being sold in small packets to home gardeners. These seeds are not clearly identified as genetically engineered. There is no mandatory labeling for genetically engineered foods or seeds in Canada, despite over 20 years of farmers, gardeners, and customers asking for it. GM garden seeds raise serious concerns for gardeners, farmers, and seed savers. They threaten seed sovereignty and the ability to choose non-GM seeds. There is a real risk of contamination of non-GM and organic seeds through cross-pollination and seed saving. Once genetically modified seeds are released into gardens, they cannot be recalled. This means corporate control through patented seeds can quietly enter community-based seed systems. What do GM garden seeds mean for the future of community seed swaps and seeding events? These GM tomatoes will produce viable seeds that gardeners can save and unknowingly disperse to other community gardeners through seed exchanges. Once the seeds are spread, resaved, and reshared, there will be no way to know whether GMO seeds are present in community seed exchanges. Not only will heritage seed collections become contaminated with GM seeds, but it will also undermine gardeners' trust in these important seed-sharing efforts. Other genetically engineered fruits, vegetables, and garden seeds are also in development and could be moving toward the market. Some of these future GM foods and seeds will not be regulated at all. The Canadian government has recently decided not to assess the safety of many gene-edited foods and seeds like those produced with new genetic engineering techniques like CRISPR. These GMOs will not go through a formal government approval process. The good news is that gardeners, seed savers, and farmers have power. There are concrete actions we can take together to protect our seeds from new GMOs. Choose not to buy genetically modified garden seeds. Only buy seeds from companies who have committed to non-GMO. Keep your Seedy Saturday and Sunday events non-GMO. For future events, ask your seed vendors not to bring GM garden seeds, encourage your vendors to sign the Safe Seed Pledge, and talk to your seed swap participants to make sure they are not swapping GM seeds. Ask your other favorite seed companies and garden centers to pledge non-GMO if they haven't already. Write to the head office of your grocery store and tell them to keep GMO fruits and vegetables out of the produce section and GM seeds and seedlings out of their garden centers. Support our call for mandatory regulation and labeling of all genetically modified foods and seeds in Canada. And talk to others. Share information at seed swaps in your communities and online. The protection and preservation of our seeds from a new type of corporate control are our shared responsibility. By acting together, we can protect seed diversity and keep our gardens non-GMO. To learn more and take action, visit CBAN's website, cban.ca, and subscribe to our e-news for updates and actions. Thank you for being part of this movement to protect our seeds.